dignitaries on the dais, students, faculty members, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here to talk to all of you today. Today is a very important day where we meet possibly the first time in this new university. All of you are very fortunate people to be part of a great new university in the name of Chanakya. Chanakya was one of the foremost intellectuals ever born on this planet. He is widely renowned for his thesis on governance, on thesis on law, and everything else. And to study in a university bearing his name is indeed a matter of great pride and a matter of great responsibility. But when you graduate from this university in 2 years, 3 years, you're going to enter a very different India and a very different world. India's GDP this year will be $3.75 trillion. By 2026, we could be 5 trillion. By 2032-34, we could be 10 trillion. So we are going to experience the greatest economic growth ever in our history in the next 10 years. And you are going to be part of that India, which is going to grow, create a huge number of jobs, and take its rightful place in the world. And you must keep that in mind. You're going to enter a very different country. Now, we may all come from very different backgrounds. Some of us could come from Bangalore, some from Delhi, some from remote villages, some from smaller states, some from the northeast, wherever we are. Our future is shaped by our background, but our future is also shaped by our education. But you must remember, the world you enter on graduation is going to be very, very different from the world any of us entered when we graduated many years ago. Second, the world is now undergoing the digital revolution. 250 years ago, India, China were the greatest economies in the world, and we were the richest part of the world till the age of the machines arrived in Great Britain with the invention of the steam engine. And that changed the world for the next 50, 100 years. And Europe colonized the rest of the world, became very rich. And that changed everything in a matter of 100 years, what had not happened for thousands of years. It led to the rise of democracy as the markets flourished, as business flourished, as economies flourished. It gave the rise to the great middle class around the world because of great economic development. It made the lives of people more healthy and people live longer. It reduced poverty like nothing else in human history. And it created a population which is today 8 billion people on this planet. And that was the impact of the Industrial Revolution over 100 years. For the last 15 years, we have been in the midst of the digital revolution. And we are seeing unprecedented change. The digital revolution shall cause tremendous upheaval in society, tremendous upheaval in the world, and change the way we live, work, and possibly interact with each other. For example, I belong to the analog generation. We are prehistoric in today's view, according to you, possibly. But I was fortunate to be part of the digital world because I and Chris worked at Infosys. Now, my two boys are part of the digital world and the meta world, and you are part of the meta-digital world. If you talk to a 13, 15-year-old child, they move from virtual reality to reality in the same breath, seamlessly, without understanding the difference. And they interact with the world in a very different way. Chris Gopalkrishnan today morning said, the mobile phone is like a new brain. And you have that power of technology and the brain here. And the world has changed. We're all on the same platform, the internet. Out of 8 billion people, 5.5 billion people have a mobile connection, 5.25 billion people on the internet. This is 7-month-old data. And India has 1.2 billion mobile connections, 850 million, 85 crore people on the internet. And the way we interact, the way we make payments, the way we entertain, the way we get education, and the way we get information is unbelievable. It's very changed. And you are part of this digital revolution and participating in it. And the world you're going to enter after you graduate is going to be different, and you have to be prepared for that. And that's why you have to understand what is happening around you in Bangalore, in India, and the world. And India is a global leader in the digital revolution. There are 3 countries who are global leaders, the United States, China, and India. And in this, India and the United States are joined together in very, very significant ways, so that we operate as one single block. China created a firewall around it, not to let information in. It also means that you have unprecedented power in your fingertips of information and knowledge. The accumulated knowledge of humanity is available for free on the web. You still have to come to college to get a degree. You still have to pay a fee. You still have to grow up. That's all true. But the information and knowledge that you have today in your fingertips is enormous. It is never available to everybody in human history. And how do you use the power is up to you. And the enormous amount of information available to you, the information you're bombarded, puts a greater responsibility on you to understand and to use that for your benefit. And this world is the real world that exists here. And you're all in Bangalore. Bangalore is India's global city, India's richest city, GDP of 160 to 180 billion with per capita income of $14,000 to $16,000, depending upon the population, growing at 8 to 9%, with 24 lakh people working in technology. And Bangalore is very different compared to any city in India. If I go to Delhi, I feel I'm going to a very strange place where I don't understand what they talk and how they behave. I'm sure, Chris, you feel the same, right? You go to Delhi very often. Bangalore is a middle-class city. Bangalore is the city where people respect you for your knowledge and how you interact, not for your wealth, because there are too many wealthy people. In every street, you could meet a newly minted millionaire or a billionaire, but people respect you for the power of your intellect, for the power of your knowledge, and how you behave. And living in the city, getting an education, interacting with everybody is a very different experience. And in this new world, what do you as young people need to survive, to grow, and to prosper, and to lead? First, you need the power of curiosity. You must have a curious mind. We are born with a curious mind. I play with my grandson, who is 2.5 years. He's much more brilliant than I am. He asks so many questions. He's so curious. He's learning, he's observing, he's seeing, he's talking. Now I understand, Chris, what is machine learning, because the brain is getting trained. What is AI machine learning? I'm seeing it practice, the human being, a young child, because how he sees and how he interacts and how he does everything, is revealing. And once you learn all that, and you see what is happening, you change your view. So you must have curiosity. Curiosity is say why the world works. And because with curiosity, you will have problem-solving skills. The greatest gift education can give you is the skill to solve problems, to identify problems and to solve them. Chris was the CEO of Infosys, the great technology person. As CEO, he was solving problems. So all the learning he had in technology and everything else, all came to one single issue. How do you solve problems? The Vice Chancellor is solving problems. So you need the problem-solving skills. And if you have the problem-solving skills, you need curiosity to understand the challenge, to look at the data, to solve the challenge, to look at various options, come to various possibilities, and decide which is the best option. And that leads to decision-making. Because in life, you have to take decisions, many of them instinctively, seamlessly, but many of them by design. So you have to have curiosity and the ability to make judgment. And two, you must be extremely well-read across many areas of human activity. Because everything is coming together, and what happens there is very different. You must go from the macro to the micro and the micro to the macro in the same sentence. If you study economics, you'll understand if interest rates are raised in the United States, what impact will have on the global economy and how is it going to impact you? So you've gone from the macro to the micro and the micro to the macro. For example, if the Saudi Arabia restricts the supply of oil to the market and oil prices go up to $120 a barrel, is 90 today, I think, what impact will have on you? Because you are a person engaged in society as a participation of society. So you must have a widespread knowledge. And the next point you must have is, you must treat the first 5 years of your work life after college as the formative years for you to learn. There's great learning with interacting with people, learning working in anywhere, whether as a faculty member or working in a company or doing some activity. And that learning period is important for you because the skills that you get during your college years and the time that you go outside is skills that are going to last you for a lifetime. Today, engineering degree is like class 10, SLC. SLC 20 years ago is engineering today. Engineers are dime a dozen. Everybody is a dime a dozen. Correct? I think India will graduate 1 crore people, 10 million people. That means the world will be graduating about 4 crore, 40 million people every year. In the United States, gross enrollment rate is maybe 80-90%. And 56% of all graduates are women. And even in India, more women are graduating. So I asked MP Kumar, how many girls are here? He said 48%, right? In the next 3-4 years, it will be 60%. Because they're the ones who are smarter, will get admission. I really feel sorry for the boys. Now that the boys are not intellectually smart or anything, but they don't apply themselves very well to pass your test and to come inside and to get those marks in school for whatever reason. I remember I spoke to Dr. Mohandas Pai many years ago and asked him how many girls come into medicine. He said 60%. I said, please restrict to 55, give some reservation for the boys. Boys too have a right to be doctors, right? So, you got to be very careful about how this external environment is going to work, and you got to learn. The next thing is, the learning that you have in the next 5 years are going to be something that is going to last. And remember, every generation is smarter than the next generation. It's inevitable. Inevitable. It's going to happen because the environment around you for learning and understanding is very different from the environment your parents had. If you stand up and tell your father you're smarter than him, it may be true, but he's wiser. He has something called wisdom. And wisdom is, in my view, important. Now that I'm much older, the only claim I can have is I have a little bit of wisdom and not have the knowledge. You may have more knowledge than me, but I can always say we have a little bit of wisdom because we've got gray hair, like the Chancellor has a lot of wisdom today. So now, this learning is what is going to do. Next, you're going to compete with young people around the world because all of us have come in a single platform. Work is going to be done through the gig economy. Work is going to be done for available to everybody. So you must treat the whole world as your stage. You must become a global Indian. It's not important that you become a Bangalorean or a Mysorean or a Kannadiga or an Indian or a Delhiite. You must be a global Indian where you get the skills and the knowledge and the thinking capacity and the curiosity to work in any part of the world and treat the whole world as your stage, because you're all getting united together by technology and the creation of a single platform like at no other time, and distance and geography will be history. Because we can pick up the phone and speak to anybody and see somebody in a video in any part of the world, any moment. It's a 24/7-hour world. So where is distance? Where is time? We're all in the same time zone. It may be dark somewhere, it doesn't matter. So you got to learn how to compete and stay. That means you must be in your own skin very confident, be your own culture, maintain your own culture, be proud of your culture, but learn how to respect other cultures. Learn how to live with other cultures as a very proud person, not showing your pride unnecessarily. You must have a feeling of security with yourself in your persona and the background that you build. Because ultimately what matters in the global environment is what do you bring to the table? What is your contribution? Not your background, not the size of your pocket, or all the digits you have after your name in terms of all the degrees and everything else. And lastly, please remember, your life has a purpose. You must dream. All of you must dream. Don't limit yourself by anything. There are no limitations for what you can achieve in life. Dream big. You'll achieve that. Even if you don't achieve what you dream, you'll achieve something greater than what you want to achieve right now. And you must have your dreams, whatever you want to do in your life, whatever you want to achieve. And nothing is beyond you. Everything is possible. And never be afraid to dream. Never be afraid to achieve. Never be afraid to ask questions. And once you have this dream, work to achieving this dream. And remember always that life is a passage. All of us are going to grow old. Today you're very young. Those were the times, my friend, we thought will never end. It all ends. All of us grow older. We are also students at one point of time. We sat there. We had some wise people with gray hair coming and telling us many things. Now we are here. We don't know where we're going to be 10 years from now. So life is an experience. And you must experience everything life has. The joys and beauty of nature. The joy of interacting. Sitting down with some people and gossiping and over a cup of tea and talking just something. Just the joy of living. You must live life to the full. Not necessarily means you must spend a lot of money and get luxuries and have yachts. I'm not saying that. But live joy, live life and the experience of life to the full by interacting with people and being very humane, by staying true to your values and staying true to everything else. Because when you go out, remember, you are among the first batch. The reputation of your university, the reputation of all students coming after you is going to be determined by you as the first batch of graduates. And you carry a very great responsibility to set the tradition, to open doors for those of your fellow students who are going to come after you. It is a big responsibility. It's a great joy. It's a great happiness to go through this and the great responsibility when you grow. Because remember, when you grow older, you cannot change your mother, you cannot change your university. University's name will still be there. I belong to this university. And you must give back to the university. Come here every year, interact with the students, talk to the faculty, and give back. Because the more you give back to your university, more your name goes up. Because the university becomes bigger, becomes well-known, becomes respected. Respect for you goes up because doors open to you. This is your life. This is your country. This is your city. This is your university. So I want to wish you all the best and say, we're all extremely happy to see all of you. We welcome you here. We challenge you to learn. We challenge you to achieve. And we challenge you to do your best and to dream. And when you go out, remember, thousands such will follow you outside. And you have to be the torchbearer for your family, your city, your state, your country, and for your university. Thank you.